What is going on, guys? This is Daniel, and today we'll be taking a look at one of the greatest upsets in NBA playoff history when in 1994, the 8th-seeded Denver Nuggets defeated the 1st-seeded Seattle Supersonics in a 5-game playoff series. It was a great upset. This series went 5 games, and I'll be taking a look at Game 5, so let's get to it. What you first have to understand is, especially in Seattle, a great sports city, the crowd was rocking in Game 5, everything was against Denver. Seattle was led by head coach George Karl and Denver by Dan Issel. And Seattle had a great team, great defensive point guard Gary Payton, all-star power forward Shawn Kemp, athletic swingman Kendall Gill, and small forward Detlef Schrempf. Denver was a young team with a lot of talent, and there's Dikembe Mutombo, LaFonso Ellis, one of their few veterans, Reggie Williams, and athletic point guard Robert Pack, who we'll get into later. Denver ran a lot of single doubles, and here they run one for Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, where he'll have an option of choosing a double screen on one side or a single screen on the opposite. Curling off a screen, he gets the 2-on-1 he wants, but he should take a 3 or attack the basket. Instead, he settles for a long 2. They ran this play primarily for Bryant Stiff, a shooting guard, and they get the switch off the single double here, and he nicely attacks and gets a floater, he just can't hit it. Off a single double, the big man guarding the screener will step out and try to take away that pass, so Pack nicely hits Brian Williams, slipping to the basket. Beautiful. And here, all that single double movement occupies the weak side defenders, allowing Robert Pack to drive and dish. Again a single double, and notice here when Stiff's man goes over this screen, Stiff smartly flares it to the corner, and he can drive there and get a foul. Moving on, off and out of bounds play, notice how Mutombo sets an off-ball screen, draws his defender just enough, and then rolls to the basket for an alley-oop. But it's not all good, as look at this horrible spacing on a post-up. Very nice stuff here, as watch LaFonso Ellis in the post. He's patient, looks for a pass, watches the cutters, then goes to work and draws a foul. And watch Pack here, a gorgeous textbook hard cut once he enters the post and he gets a dunk. And watch Gill do the same, but Kemp doesn't pass it to him. And watch when Seattle double teams the post, Denver spaces well, moves the ball, solid rotation by Seattle, but better ball movement and they get a layup. Here, Denver runs a page out of the UCLA 1-4 offense, where they'll UCLA cut to the basket, and then Rauf will receive a double staggered screen on the weak side, and here he gets a nice shot and gets fouled. But too often, Denver wouldn't get into a play, there'd be very poor flow, spacing, movement, and here they'd have to take a bad shot because of it. Here's a set I liked where Kemp will send an on-ball screen with Payton on top while a wing will run off a double staggered screen on the weak side. And if that isn't open, then Kemp will send an off-ball screen sort of like floppy for one of the screeners, and here they get him wide open for a 3. Moving on to defense, and here Gary Payton helps one pass away, but Rauf can't take advantage by taking a long 2. And again, that's Payton helping one pass away, forcing unnecessary rotation, but Denver can't convert. And watch what happens when the defense lets the pick and roll ball handler split them. And you never double off the cutter on a post-up because it's too hard for weak side defenders to pick up the cutter. Abdul-Rauf does here, which leads to rotation, and Kemp gets a wide open shot. Watch as Seattle doubles the post well as they harass Mutombo, making it very hard for him to make a cross-court pass, and they rotate well and force a tough shot. And watch as Denver terribly doubles the post and provides no resistance to Detlef Schrempf. Again, watch as Denver lets Schrempf split the double team, which just can't happen, and he gets a gimme. And watch when they double the post, 2 Denver players need to zone between 3 Sonics players, but this is done badly as no one picks up Kemp the cutter and he gets a layup. And again here, Denver weak side defenders provide no resistance to a simple cut by Kendall Gill. But much better job here is watch how Denver weak side defenders are in the lane, moving and reacting, and they rotate well and force a tough shot. Now let's talk Robert Pack, because he provided a big late boost off the bench for Denver, and he really made a huge difference, especially in the second half. You saw there how he got a transition score, and here on a 2-on-2 he turned it into 2 points. And late in the shot clock here, he takes it upon himself to get an and one. But it wasn't just offense, that's him there harassing Gary Payton on the ball into a turnover. And Pack wasn't a very good 3-point shooter, but here late in the game he hits 2 big ones to keep Denver in the game. Okay, so let's go straight to overtime. Tie game, 3 minutes left. Let's see how this unfolded. And first, Seattle will set a double screen to get Kemp good post position, and he gets the ball, and watch how Pack falls asleep on a simple Gary Payton cut, and nice awareness by Kemp to find Payton. Next, Denver posts up Mutombo and Seattle doubles, and on this rotation, Kemp needs to be sprinting out to cover Williams. He doesn't, and Williams hits a crucial 3. Down 1, Seattle posts up Kemp, a great move, and even though Mutombo is a great defender, they still should have doubled Kemp. They don't, and Kemp scores. Now I loved what Seattle did here. They decided not to double Mutombo because he wasn't a great offensive player, and he couldn't do anything in the post on this particular play, and they forced a shot clock violation. When Denver allows middle on this pick and roll and the big man sags, Seattle has a 2-on-1, but Kemp doesn't roll hard enough and Payton doesn't pass it to him, and they turn it over. Unbelievable. And Denver runs the same exact pick and roll and get the same exact 2-on-1, but they know what to do with it as they hit their big man and Ellis gets an and one. Needing a score, Seattle runs Shrimp off 2 shuffle screens to get post position, but the screens are set horribly, allowing Denver to deflect the pass. Fortunately for Seattle, they get the ball back, but Mutombo comes up big. With a minute left, Denver posts up Ellis, but a terrible pass along with great help side defense, and Seattle steals it, but Robert Pack strips Gary Payton. But coming down, Denver doesn't get into anything. There's poor movement, poor spacing, and Pack eventually gets blocked by Kemp with 1 second on the shot clock. And Mutombo can't get a shot off. Seattle smartly gets it to Kemp to try to let him create, but Mutombo comes up with a huge block, Pack gets it, and he hits 2 free throws. Down 4, needing a quick bucket, Seattle runs a handoff, but Denver smartly switches this. They stay disciplined, play good defense, force a tough shot, and the game is over. Well, there you have it, guys. You can see how better execution here and there for Seattle might have changed the outcome, but Denver played a great game on the road, no less, and you can see the excitement as they completed a historical upset. Well, there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. More videos coming throughout the summer, so stay tuned and see you next time.